and has worked his way up to 9th grade. Okay, so this is a chart that lets me see the advances of the students. Then again, this is what I have on my screen each day, like I said before, being able to tag over here so that I know exactly what. And it's amazing when they get that first level up award. It's a star over on that side, and they'll look at their screen, and then they'll turn around and they'll look at me like, what in the world, you know? And I'm standing back there, shivers going up and down my spine, just grinning from ear to ear because it's made me feel good that they've gotten something and succeeded at it. It will also tell you how much they have increased in their reading. This is the line where they would have begun. This is the guided reading improvement, and this is their independent improvement. And these are our students right here. So we are seeing a great growth, I think, in the majority of them. The awards that they get are like this. They can get leveling up. There's a special place that I can go in to give special awards such as this, excellent progress. I think there's another one, outstanding. Reader of the month, reader of the week, the one who has had the most 100% comprehension. So you can print all of these up and give them to them. And so we've had one day about midterm that we went through, and anyone who was at a certain level got a certain certificate, 80%, 90%, 70%. And the first time I did it, we had 3 students who didn't get an award. And they looked at me and they said, well, how do you get it? So I explained to them what the other students had been doing. And the next time, everyone got at least one. And we do have some students who really do struggle, so that is really saying a lot for those kids. They're really looking towards getting that improvement. Just to give you an idea here, I guess this is the one that is so amazing to me. And I started out doing this in black and white. And it's a matter of, can I zoom out somehow here? But it's more impressive, definitely, with the color, which I'll put on in just a minute. Yeah, that's good right there. Yeah, that's great. This is where we started right here. This is where we started. Initial content level, 10 students at 5+ below, 7 at 4, 2 at 3, 1 at 2, and 1 at 1. That was on our initial start. The first week that I took the records down, we did not improve. Really, that's just exactly where we were. But we did see in our rate by the end of the week some increase. 57%, 12 of them were below norm. At the end of that first week, 8 were below norm on their reading speed. On their independent. And on the guided, we still had 12 who were below with a 3% increase. This is where we were at the end of last week. It is going to reflect. Again, there's where we started. We now have only 3 students 5 grade levels below. 6 of them are at 4. 11 are at 3. So you can see where the students have moved up. 3 at 2 below, 1 at 1 below, and 1 on grade level. That's for content comprehension. So I think that's a great improvement. If you take a look at this red right here, it is now this little mark right over here, where we have kids that are really, really low. So things are really changing. With the initial reading rate, this was below norm. Independent, as of last Friday, we have 7 students who are still below the norm, 5 who are at norm, and 13 in their independent reading speed are above norm, at norm or above. Current guided rate, we have 5 who are below, 2 who are on, and 18 who are now at or above the regular norm. An average level gain of 1.6 reading levels, 18% here and 9% here. One other chart to share with you on the screen here. This one helps you to understand the necessity, I guess, of the 3 days a week. They want you to do this 3 days a week. With the initial content over there again, these are students who are working, using the program at 100%. They may be doing something in a study hall or with an IEP teacher or with an at-risk teacher to try and improve. We have only 2 students who are really using it to the maximum, but their grade improvement is 2 levels. In this group of 66, I think it is, to 99%, they also are at 2 grade level improvement. We have 4 students, and you could go to their records, look at it, not having seen this, and be able to pick out who these 4 are, because you do have some still who just are not going to put in. You've got to figure out, okay, how can I get them really to pay attention, to be interested, or it could be an absence. They've been gone, they've been sick. But these students who are not using it at that average of 3 a week are at a 0.1 improvement. So you can see the more you use it on a regular basis, the better the improvement for the students would be. I have other records that show here. I've highlighted what the students have done, where they've started, how many grade levels they've come up in each of the programs. The program will tell me that. It also gives individually where they started, what their problem areas are, every question that they have answered, whatever area it falls into. 4 out of 7 for paraphrasing, 5 out of 6 for knowing the main characters, drawing conclusions, everything like that. So you can look at this individually and know exactly where the child is having a hard time. And they like to look at their reading one, where they see their ideas going up. We have one young man who has worked so hard, and his speed hasn't increased a lot, but he's improving just regularly. And he looks at that and he says, well, you can see I am improving. It is getting better, you know. So they're really excited about it for the most part. But I think that we have right now hit kind of a plateau. Last week, they were in the lab for 4 days on the computer, 2 with Mrs. Wollison to do the Iowa plan, and 2 for the reading, and we should have been in a 3rd day. I made the call not to go in the 3rd day, because I thought 5 days working with this type of thing in a row was a little bit much. The 3 is really enough, and then we added those other 2. And when we went into the classroom, I said to the kids, did you want to go back and get the 3rd one, or is it okay that we're down here? No, it's okay, we're down here. So they're reaching a level where they're at their best understanding, their best content, and now it's getting a little harder to get higher. It was easier to begin with, but now it's going to be, you know, a little more work, because they've reached that level where I'm at my competency. Now I have to push myself to get up and beyond even further. The material is getting a little harder. Okay, lots of information quickly. Yes?
How are the kids identified for the program?
Basically, we used our English survey class this year. And that is identified, I believe, by Iowa Test of Basic Skill, BRIs, and teacher input at the middle school.
Right. Did they have any choice as to whether or not they were involved in the program?
In the English survey or in this?
Once they were identified?
In the English survey, you mean?
No, in this program.
No, we just took it and put it into the English survey classroom.
I think I'm a little dismayed to think that we have kids that are in 9th grade reading at 2nd and 3rd grade levels. Is there a way to institute this program earlier on so that kids don't enter into high school with this far behind?
It runs, I believe, 1st through 11th grades. And I think there are certain things that they don't ask you to do with the 1st and 2nd grade, that it starts with the 3rd grade level, but it can be done at all those levels.
Feels like it's a lot of catch-up, right?
Yeah.
Very, very good point. Sure. I think we need to start this early.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, I had one young lady who was really struggling, and the program put her down a level, and she was just devastated. She said, I don't know what I'm not doing in order to be able to get this. I said, it's just a struggle right now. They want you to go down one level so that you're going to have some satisfaction and feel successful. She went to that level, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she has leveled up 4 times since.